What's up YouTube, Winning Image here, out to bring you guys a deck profile to my Beast Deity deck. So this is what I think is the best Nova Grappler deck right now, just because it doesn't have an extreme reliance on pieces such as Victor and Blau. So if you're excited to dive into this deck as much as I am, make sure to like this video, subscribe if you haven't, and leave a comment down below. What is your favorite Nova Grappler deck right now and what you think is the best? So I think Beast Deity has an edge right now, and I'm really excited to show you guys how. So without further ado, big shout out to Monkey and Blau for helping me with the list. Be sure to catch my Cardfight Con. Let's jump into this deck profile. Starting off with the grade 3s, we have 4 copies of Beast Deity Azure Dragon. So Azure Dragon is really good because on right you counterblast 1, draw a card from your hand, and it attacks your opponent's Vanguard. So it's really good. Being able to draw 2 when you first ride, because you go Excel 2 usually all the time with my nice USA sleeves, is really powerful in making sure that you have an optimal card to call. And if your opponent doesn't hit, it could be used to trigger some of your restand skills such as Doe Sledge, which we do run in this deck. And then of course the secondary skill is when it attacks. Note that it doesn't have to attack a Vanguard on Vanguard Circle. You counterblast 1, stand 1 of your rear guards, allowing you to get another attack and increase this deck ceiling even further by allowing your restand effects to take place. Next, for our backup grade 3, we have none other than Illuminal Dragon. Illuminal Dragon, of course, is a great finisher, I guess you could say, for the Nova Grappler Beast Deity deck. So with its skill to counterblast 1, if the attack doesn't hit for one of your rear guards, you restand that rear guard and then it attacks your opponent's Vanguard with an additional 10k power. So this is really good, especially if your opponent's at 4 damage and you put a crit on one of your rear guards, because you could attack with that critted rear guard, they have to guard, and then it could restand attack again, giving your attacks more pressure, especially late game. If you attack with your Vanguard first, meaning that they have to guard because of the threat of critical triggers, and then if you get a critical trigger, you're just going off from there. And then of course it's Vanguard rear guard skill that when your other unit's attack hits, it gets 15k, making a 27k attacker, thus being able to hit over force, excel, and protect Vanguards without any triggers. Next for grade 2s, we have 4 copies of Cool Hank. Cool Hank is of course the main Nova grade 2 out of the latest set. If its skill synergizes really well with the Beast Deity deck, because on Vanguard, when its attack hits, you can Soul Blast 1 to draw, meaning that it gives this deck a little bit of early pressure. With Beast Deity, you have to understand that every attack either gets your opponent closer to death or forces a card out of their hand. Hank totally fits that bill, and if it hits you, get to see another card, of course, which is nice. And then its secondary skill that when it attacks, when it's on rear guard, you discard a card from your hand and restand one of your rear guards. Really good fitting the Nova Grappler theme, and of course allowing you to restand more of your restand targets, such as Jack. So Jack, of course, is really good this format in my opinion, because of the synergies that it has with Scarlet Bird. We don't run Shadow in this deck, but with Jack's skill, you're able to have some kind of advantage engine if you have both Scarlet Bird and Jack in your hand. And then of course Jack's skill to be a 19k attacker at all stages of the game whenever you play it is really powerful. Its rest skill is also good with some of the other cards in the deck. We'll go into that later. But going off some of the new cards, we have 3 Extreme Battler Doe Sledge. So Doe Sledge, of course, is really good because it gains effects based on the number of times it restands. So the first time it restands, it gets 10k. Second time, you soul charge 1, and the third time, during the battle, it gains 10k. And then during the battle that it attacked, your opponent cannot call Sentinels from hand to Guardian Circle. This is really good, giving this deck kind of a finishing play, especially if you drive check a crit. It's basically a Starry Pop at that point, if you play Pale Moon. And then of course, to help us manage our resources and make sure that we can do most of our skills, we run 2 copies of Boomerang Thrower. Boomerang Thrower is really good because when placed, if you have 1 or less face-up damage, you countercharge 1, and if you have 1 or less soul, you soul charge 1. So it turns 1 counterblast into 2, essentially. And with damage denied being super relevant right now, allowing you to potentially get off another Doe Sledge stand or use some of your soul effects if you're low on soul. It's really good. Moving on to the grade 1s, we have 4 copies of Extreme Battler Airshid. Airshid, of course, is our generic grade 3 searcher. Really good for the Nova deck because Novas cannot hit Force Vanguards with ease. This card could hit Force unboosted because it's skill to gain 5k whenever something stands. Doesn't stack. But when you boost with your Vanguard, it hits 25k, allowing you to get that extra stage of guarding and force a 50k shield minimum out of your Force player's hand. So of course that's why we gotta run these. Could run Rolling Extender if you want, but grade 3 searchers are pretty optimal to help ensure that you can get your rides. And then 4 copies of Scarlet Bird. Scarlet Bird, of course, is standard. It gives away our starter, the White Tiger, because Soul Blast 1 when it's placed, stand all of your units, so of course it counters Senbaku and whatnot. And then if you restand 2 or more units, you draw. But because it could restand one unit with its skill, let's say after Azure Dragon and the attack hits, you don't get to stand something, and you attack with your Doe Sledge, you could still use its skill to restand the Doe Sledge, and that, when you stood, will gain the 10k. So you're already part of the way there to getting to a Sentinel Restrict with Scarlet Bird. Another card that helps that role is Unknown Dansky. So Unknown Dansky, of course, is a really underrated card for the Nova Grappler deck, because when it's placed, you counterblast 1, stand one of your rear guards, and then have that unit attack your opponent's Vanguard. If the attack doesn't hit, that unit restands. This is actually really, really good, because like I said with Beast Deity, every attack that you do, the extra attack is going to force card out of your opponent's hand or get them closer to death. Unknown Dansky just helps you extend, because you're already going to get like 4 attacks with the Excel Circle. All these extra attacks build on each other and force your opponent into awkward guarding situations and help you close out the game. And even if you don't have a unit to stand, its skill still activates as long as you have a other unit on the field. And then for triggers, we have 8 crit. Ooh, no surprise. 4 draw. Twin Blader, 4 heal. And White Tiger's our starter. No comment. That's pretty much it for this deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed kind of this quick breakdown of Beast Deity. It's really, really fun, really, really good, and really, really underrated right now. So if you're looking for a fun deck to try and you have your Azure Dragons, be sure to try this deck out for yourself. So I want to thank you all for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. And actually, the next time I upload will be Cardfight Con. So see you guys there. Peace.